I am Joe.
And I'm Kokoy.
Together we are.
TITOS with Ukuleles.
And what do we have?
And this time, Joe, we finally get ourselves a Hawaiian-made ukulele. See, it says Hawaii. But does it look anything like the AK brands, right?
No.
No. What does it say?
It doesn't even say where it's made.
No, it says Hawaii. Honolulu. It's a made in Hawaii, definitely. It's called
Omi International Incorporated.
yes. But what is the brand? The one in gold.
LEOLANI.
All right, this is LEOLANI brand, LEOLANI Omi International, not to be confused with Leilani, our resident hula hula girl.
Now, something interesting about this.
What else is interesting?
Well-
It's pretty much interesting with all the things that are on it.
The address on the label is a PO box.
Yes, that puts us in a vintage range, won't you think? There's no email, there's nothing. It even has some gold foiling in the print. So it says Hawaii, LEOLANI Omi International Inc. Now, this is, I don't know if you should confuse this with the LEOLANI Inc. that is currently selling higher end ukuleles, because this one is not high end. It says Hawaii right there, Hawaii right here, and it gives away the souvenir vibes. But it's pretty much more well built than most souvenir ukuleles, right?
Okay, I have a question. So this looks smaller than a soprano. So what's the size?
All right, this is a pocket size. This is now the kidney shape Sopranino. Okay, the Sopranino roughly is 11-inch, right?
But what's about the scale?
That's the scale, the 11-inch scale.
Uh-huh.
The body size, of course, depends. So this puts it around about 16.
So you got the no tie bridge.
No tie bridge. Our horror friction tuners.
You know, okay.
So hard to tune.
Folks, I tried tuning it a while ago. It's a headache.
Yeah, friction tuners, the way you solve it is you use a screwdriver to tighten up your friction tuners every now and then. That kind of locks it in, so be ready to be fighting your tuning if you lock it too much. But if you don't lock it too much, be ready to have your tuning flex, especially on something like this, which is usually probably about $20. But again, this is at least 20 years old. You can tell from the aging on the plastic saddles and nut.
Well, look at the frets.
Yes, the fret is one of those things that you're like brass or copper finishing. It really rusts and tarnish over time. Your fretboard is definitely painted on because you can see where the scratching happens. It's taking out the paint or stain that's on top of that. I had to actually do some fret work to take out the very, very harsh sprouts, the sprouting. So this is well worn out over here.
Okay, so everything looks old, but the strings look new. So I suppose these have
Of
been
course,
replaced?
after 20 years, I have to replace the strings. This is something that you will probably find now in secondhand shops or thrift shops. I found this again on something like a thrift shop. It had what I presume was fishing line strings because they were really selling it cheap. But hey, look, I wanted a Hawaii souvenir since I won't probably find myself in Hawaii anytime soon. So this is the best chance to find it in souvenir shops. It does have a glossy finish from questionable wood. However, the soundboard wood is what you would usually probably say cedar or something like that. But it has some nice, weird pit marks that like either like those are like the wood cancers or something. So it's still a relatively decent wood. And the dolphin shapes over here.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes, the dolphins.
No, I'm looking inside, and the kerfling isn't notched.
Yeah. Sometimes, of course, when you're looking at souvenirs or cheap ones, you don't have to, put some notches so that it can bend easier. Could probably be some material that bends easily. But also, this is again a well-made souvenir ukulele. Now, why can we say it's well-made is that if you find a souvenir ukulele, let's say in the airport of Hawaii or in the islands of Cebu, usually you don't find any real markings on them because they'll be super cheap. But this is relatively one that it's good to display.
Yeah, good to display, and just to say that, well, I bought a uke.
Yeah. So let's run it through a sound sample, so that we'll find out if it actually sounds well enough for a $20 souvenir. Okay. From the surfing waves of Hawaii, we have the LEOLANI Souvenir ukulele.
Now, I can tell you something, guys. After playing it, if you're gonna play it, while playing and singing, you're gonna be praying that it keeps in tune.
Okay, there are two things about that. One, I did not set this up because definitely, who would set up a ukulele that actually has Hawaii? It's something like finding one of those souvenir plate numbers, from Route 66 or something. So this one definitely needs a lot of work. First of all, the high action is so high here on the end. That's why you have a hard time tuning it as well. Is that you have to file this nut because it's a souvenir ukulele. You have to set it up. You have to file this nut so the string is not too far. You're getting out of tune because every time you press, you're actually traveling so far. So every time you adjust, it kind of bends the tune out. And you have these friction tuners. But of course, the solution to friction tuner is really to just lock it in.
I don't think these are the right strings for this size.
Yes and no. Okay, this is a Sopranino, but it's on the actually it's between this. Well, it is a Sopranino, but not too far from a Sopranissimo or a Piccolo. It's 11-inch compared to, let's say, 10.5. But yes, the strings you can actually, because it's still smaller than a soprano. So if you're gonna use soprano strings on it, I suggest you probably need a high tension one.
So I tune it an octave higher?
Well, with this one, because it has cheap strings, don't want to tune it an octave higher. It probably will break, or because we don't know how good this. It is wood, at least the bridge. You don't know how good it will hold the tension. It looks like it's well built, but it is a souvenir ukulele, so don't expect too much from it.
Folks, this is like it's just like a minor step up from a toy.
Well, don't insult the craftsmanship on those dolphins, man. I mean, imagine if they had cut it by hand and leveled everything around it instead of sticking. Because I'm not sure Well, definitely they are wooden dolphins of a separate wood that's been slapped in there.
This is like what's it saying? Should be seen, not heard.
Definitely, because you have to hang it. Because when you're playing like sideways on a kidney shape, they're Hawaii, which will not, level right. So it's really made for displaying. Yes, I think when I bought this, there was some string. There was some hanging string from there.
But I like how the headstock sort of mimics the shape of the body.
Yeah, but this is a $20 ukulele. Those toy ukuleles you've been talking about that are being sold on these platforms these days that are coming from China. They can go between $10 to $20 themselves, and those don't have real wood, right? This one is real wood, so this is definitely when you buy something like this from the place that ukuleles were invented from, it is actually a souvenir of the culture, right? You take it as a souvenir of the culture. So at least in some sense, for that matter, it is good to keep as a souvenir. To play, go ahead and buy yourself a K brand.
Now, folks.
Yes.
Okay, look.
We need to go to Hawaii, so
We need to go to Hawaii, I hope soon. Anyway, again, the ukes that we review and show and share with you here, we own these. It's part of our personal collection, respective collections. So no one's paying us to review it, so we can bash it and we can be honest and say na, yeah, it's a good sort of uke.
Yep.
Yeah. So we would like to encourage you to please like our videos, subscribe to the channel, because it really keeps us going.
yes. So with that, we leave you with a souvenir of your own. This episode about this LEOLANI OMI International Ukulele.